What's up everyone? This is my new project. So this is my 2002 Ford Explorer. It is a two-door Explorer. It was made in the Louisville assembly plant. It's a vehicle, you could say. It's red. There's some sun damage on the roof for the paint, but other than that, the paint's actually in really good shape. Got a 5-speed manual right there with the electronically controlled 4x4. It's got 250,000 miles on it. Let me go ahead and pop this hood though and show you what we're packing. It is hydraulics, which is pretty nice, but they're going bad. I need to replace them. I mean, and the hood's heavy too, so they're pretty heavy duty. It doesn't currently run, and I don't really know what's wrong. I think it's a bad coil pack, but let me show y'all what happens. So we put the key in. So this is basically what happens. It's just spinning, and let me show you a video from the outside of what is happening. So that's basically what's happening, and it smells like gas. Now, I know that the chambers are getting gas because I pulled out the spark plugs, and they are wet with gasoline, which is a very good thing. And I do have spark plugs in there. Now, I suspect that's a bad coil pack because I thought I was getting spark to my spark plugs because I was getting timing light, you know, it was flashing and everything when I was cranking over the engine, but I don't seem to be getting any type of spark when I pull the spark plugs out. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to check Advanced Auto's website, see how much spark plugs cost, and you know, see if I need to replace all of them. These right here are a little bit harder to get to, but I could probably get them from right here. There's just like a little what is this? Yeah, that one might be a little bit more of a pain to get to, but it's definitely doable. All of this is really doable. But yeah, I know I am getting fuel because all the spark plugs are wet and smell like gasoline. So yeah, let's head over to Advanced Auto and let's pick up 6 spark plugs and maybe a coil pack. Oh, check that out. Ain't that cool? Wow. Yeah, there's heaven right there. Parts. Now, I've never actually received a bag from Advanced Auto before, but we got 6 spark plugs in here and a coil pack. I went ahead and decided, you know, I might as well get it if the coil pack's not working. And I can always return it if it is. I was actually thinking first, what I could do is replace the coil pack. Not the plugs yet, just to see if it is a coil pack, and then try the plugs and see if it's the plugs and the coil pack, and if it's not both, then that's no bueno. So what I'm going to do is take these bolts off that are connecting this to the frame. So right here, I mean not the frame, but the engine, and then is it incorporated into the block? So then I had to take these 2 out. Okay. Alrighty, so I just changed out the coil pack for the new one. But what I found very strange is that on this coil pack, the firing order was almost like reversed than what it should have been, at least what I saw online. So what we're gonna do is start it up and see if it does anything interesting. Alrighty. You turn that on. It won't work because the theft thing is on. I had to do the alarm thing again. Then it turns on. Nope, it didn't do that time. Are you serious right now? Come on, I just want to test. It's not working, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with the theft recently. It's been doing this for some reason, and I'm not exactly too sure why. Let me make sure that that's plugged in. It is. That's plugged in. Oh me, oh my. See, it's like when all of a sudden I'm ready to do something, it does this. It's like cursed. Let me see here if I can lock the door. Wait, that's the unlock. What? Yep. It's okay, it's locked now. Maybe I gotta close the door. Let's see here, let's try our best to somehow unlock it. That's locking. I know it's locking. Okay, well then, stick the key in here. It just says it's a blinking theft code. I can't do anything. Okay, let's see if we can reconnect the ECU. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not properly connected. And also plug in breather hose because that's needed for this thing to work. That was me on accident. So we unlock. Got a theft thing, and it's normal to blink like that. And then that should be a solid red. Let's do the alarm thing again. Maybe if I'm like outside the vehicle with the doors locked, I hit the alarm thing. I think the key fob is going dead. No, this has a new battery in it. The key fob has a new battery. Okay, and then I honestly don't know anymore with this vehicle. I really just want to see it start. Hopefully the fuse isn't blown. It doesn't look blown. I have to figure out which one. I think it's number 10 is the passive. And that, yeah, it's still not. Let me see if I can find the manual. Of course I knew it was number 10. It's not like I've had to check this fuse so many dang times already. Number 10 is this one. The fuse is not blown, so I'll plug it back in and then cry about the whole thing. It's still the same thing. Oh my gosh. I know this key is programmed to that AC because I literally started it up not even an hour ago. I mean, not started up, but it was turning. So I just heard something go on, and I'm gonna see if this thing will, let's see here, let's put this thing in neutral. Ooh. It started, but it sounded really freaking ugly. Holy smokes. Oh my god, stop freaking beeping at me! What the heck did I hear? Really freaking bad. What's this oil look like? I mean, but it's still lubricating. It's definitely old oil. But it should be lubricating just fine. Let me start it back up again for a little bit and see if I hear anything again. So I've done some diagnosing, and at least I know that there's noise coming from the starter and the wire's melting right there. So I gotta take that off and figure out what's happening. But it's very possible that there's like stuck valves. I don't know if this is an interference engine or not, so I gotta look that up too. We have the alternator. And yeah, the shit will not spin. It's definitely locked in there. So I gotta figure out how much an alternator costs and see if I can replace it. I nicked myself pretty good when I put the tensioner back, but I decided I was gonna put the alternator back on because I got it freed actually using just like a big ass bolt because an alternator costs like $200 and I don't feel like spending that today. This is the noise it's making. And then when we go back to check the exhaust, I don't know. A little bit further away now, but you can see that out of the exhaust it seems to be clearing up just a little bit now. I'm not sure, it almost seems like a misfire, but there's no check engine code saying that it is. It might be an exhaust leak or it's a stuck valve hitting the pistons, but I'm not sure. Another reason I think it's an exhaust leak is because there's smoke coming from that that piston right there. So maybe, I'm not exactly too sure exactly what the problem is on that thing. It sounds like a stuck valve to me, or it could be an exhaust leak. But what I really want to do is an oil change on it. So that means I got to get oil. What time is it? I got class in like 2 hours. So maybe that'll be a tomorrow thing. But what I can definitely do is retest the drive shaft and see if it'll move a little bit. But let me put back all these tools. Front drive shaft isn't connected, but the rear one is, and that's what matters. So put it in two-wheel drive and put it in reverse and see how it works out. I think it's got a head gasket leak and possibly a misfire, but I have to change the oil at some point and see. Oh yeah, no doubt it's got an oil leak somewhere. So yeah, a little update. I changed the oil on it and the exhaust is actually burning okay now. There's definitely a leak somewhere, or it's misfiring on, you know, one of the cylinders. But it's actually driving, and I drove it in four-wheel drive, and it's running great now. Hey, besides the ticking good noise. Wow, I'm genuinely impressed right now. But yeah, it's shaking a little, and like the exhaust is extremely hot right now, so that's why I think it's a misfire as well. Okay, something happened. It's a little heartbreaking actually, but it might be fixable. This is a Ford at the moment. You might notice it's white. It did not snow. It's that it caught on fire. I'm still not sure exactly where from. I think from the back, and Dad and I talked, and maybe it's a return line on the fuel, because when I sprayed it again, it caught back on fire, and then it didn't. Now, I tell you, the fire protection on this thing is good because it didn't catch up on the inside, but holy smokes, was that scary. And I don't know if it's still charring. It's not, but yeah, this is ruined. I got this all over in my lungs too. And all the fun stuff. You can see from the inside where it was burning pretty good for a little bit. For like 30 seconds. It was burning pretty good. I got to get to class though. Yeah, I found that oil leak. Not oil leak, that's a gas leak. That's a lot of gas. Damn. Bit of an update. I've been trying to get the intake manifold off, that way I could access the fuel rail, see if it's leaking from there, because what appears to be is gas is dripping from the side of the block, and when I looked through that wheel well right over there, it looked like it was draining from much higher, but when you look up from above, you know, it looks like it's almost coming from the fuel rail. What did cause the fire yesterday though is that the gasoline had started to leak insanely much. Right now, if you pressurize the fuel tank, it actually leaks an enormous amount, but it leaks on top of the catalytic converter coming from the left, which was extremely hot, which didn't spark that fire to happen. Currently, my stance on the situation. So yeah. Good? Yep. All right. So we got the intake manifold off, and we plugged the ports on the 4.0 V6. Now what I'm going to do is, here, I can take the phone now. And what I'm looking for is a leak from back here, and I'm gonna need that light for it. Let's see here. There's definitely something wet down there. Oh, that's coolant. Yeah, that's whatever. Interesting. Alrighty, so Andrew, go ahead and hop in there and turn the ignition on.
Sure, yes, sir.
Oh, wee. Look at that. All right, stop. Yeah, that's pressurized fuel just spraying right over that.
You know what it might...
Alrighty, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna buy an O-ring kit for it. Not new injectors, because those are like 60 bucks a pop, and I don't feel like spending that kind of money on a car that I don't know what I'm gonna do with. So we're gonna get some gaskets for it before Advanced Auto closes for today. So yeah, see you when we get back. So we got, where's that coming from? I think it's from the exhaust.
It is.
Okay, so we got it running. There's not a fire anymore. It was a leaking injector was the whole problem of the fire, but now it's running just fine.
Just fine.
Yeah. It's definitely a stuck valve, because you can feel from the exhaust. Is it recording?
Yeah.
All right. So we got it running, and there's actually there's supposed to be a EGR. What do you call it? Something that plugs into here.
It plugs into the...
Yeah, it's blowing smoke, and
right
I
there.
believe it to be coolant that it's
here.
blowing, so it's going to need a new head. Plus, also, we need to take apart the head, so what Andrew and I will probably do is either this weekend or tomorrow, we'll probably take it back apart and pop that head off to see what the hell is up with that stuck valve. It's definitely a stuck valve, but we were having a misfire issue, and now I don't believe we are, besides the stuck valve, of course. We have no stored codes, which is good for the engine. It's an OBD2. Now, of course, I don't know how reliable that can be. But yeah, so we have all this pretty much well set up. It's not burning anymore. It's not on fire. So yeah, we're going to put the hood back on and then call it a night. See y'all on the next one.